Hello again, this is Darren as always, and we are going to paint an eye, and it's a little tiny bugger. So this might not come off successful, or maybe several. Let's paint the eyes. And I'm just going, I was going to go in, my brush has decided to screw up, into pure white, same color we were highlighting with in the previous episode. Just get my brush. I'm using a much smaller brush than last time, and actually let me compare the two brush sizes. The one on the bottom was the one I was painting with, and I've moved to the one on top. And this may or may not work, so just dive straight into the white. And that's way too much paint. We want to just go in and give it a touch. And nope. We're going to have to fix that. Actually, let's suck it up with the big brush. The thing I don't like about this technique is I gotta wait for it to dry again. And when we're trying to do a single eye, that's gonna be a pain. So, let's try again. Just a little dollop of paint. And very carefully. Good enough. Maybe a little bit more. Nope, messed up. So we get to do this over again. Had something decent the first time. Second time, no. Just give it a quick toss in front of a dryer, aka my foot heater. A little more paint here. And squid. There's some white. We're going to try it again. I don't think I actually touched it that time. We're going to call that good, at least for the whites of the eye. Our next stage is to try to paint her iris with some grass green. I'm not entirely sure that's going to work very well because that eye is so small, but it doesn't hurt to try it, so that's what we're going to do. We may have to go back and do the white some more again. And I'm just going to get the smallest of little dots. I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but I want her to have a green eye, but that's too much paint. And nope. Oh, that's terrible. She is looking way too far away. So, water. See if we can get that green off without doing any white. And nope. It dried too quickly. So, back to the white, which is dried. Well, I am thinning this, but I'm just not putting it on the camera very much. No reason to rehash that. So let's just try to go over that white, that little green dot. What we've got there. And I don't think I let it dry fast enough. See if we can fix this without having to redo all the skin. This is one reason people do eyes first. It's because it is a very trying matter to get this perfect, or at least the way you can do it. You know, in theory, we could paint her eyes closed, but we're not going to do it that way. And I think I'm just fighting myself here. Give it a quick toss under the heater just to try to dry it out some. God, it's just not working here. Well, that worked, but we'll have to paint back some of the skin tone. But that's fine. We'll get that here in a second. And we're going to try just giving it a dot again. This time more inside. Oh, that's worse than last time. I think she is destined to be eyeless. So I think we got to go back in again to the white. Trying to soak up as much water here. Another toss in front of the heater. And back into the white again. And I got her nose. I may have to just paint her nose and get it with some fairer skin as well. I'm using the heater just to try to speed this up rather than flitter over, pause, redo. Trying to make this all in one shot just to show you how much trouble it can be. There we go. Back into the white. And that's too much paint. I know one technique that people do use is to paint the eyes first and then go straight and paint the skin around it. At this point, I may just go ahead and do that. Yeah, it kind of messes up all the shadows and highlights we were trying to put in, but we really didn't do that much on the face anyway. Let's try to get this time. I think I can work with that. That looks bad, but what we'll do is we'll paint over with some fair skin. Let me just whip that up. I've been painting fairly often, so it's fairly shook up. Just put a drop out there. We're just going to mix it up off screen here. And I think if I were to try to do it right now, it might be a little bit too wet still. So Just dry it off a little bit more. Okay, so just going to touch the nose first because that's an easy spot to retouch. And now I don't have enough paint on there. Let's try that. Yeah, I kind of got it. Need to touch it up a little bit more when that dries just a tad. This is kind of why I call myself a hack painter. I really don't know too well that this will work. That's what we're trying. And I think right there, that is just enough hint of an eye. And we're going to touch it a little bit more. I think just underneath her eye, that green is showing just a little bit. There. I'm going to call that good, and I might use that technique from now on. Just start with the eye, paint it white, paint the dot, done. So, here we go. I think the next thing I've got on my list to do is we're going to start on the dress, which will be a lot more interesting than painting all these little fiddly bits. And at some point I think I paint her lips. I've got it all laid out, but I don't, so we'll go ahead and do that at some point in time. But we're going to concentrate on the dress and then highlights and shades for it next.